Norfolk County Register of Deeds, Bill O'Donnell is joining us remotely, as is the new way to communicate in this coronavirus atmosphere that we're in. But doesn't mean that the Registry of Deeds is halting business by any means. Just doing it a little differently. Bill, great to see you.
Great to see you, Joe. And yes, a lot of technology. I miss being in Quincy, but yes, I'm here in my office. At 649 High Street in Dedham. That's the county seat, and it's great. And again, thanks to you and everyone at Quincy Access Television for doing this. Certainly, some adjustments have had to be made over the last few weeks with COVID. And yes, in the governor's orders, the Registry of Deeds has been deemed an essential service, and we kind of knew that. I mean, the registry has a key role in keeping a pretty important sector of the economy, the real estate economy, the real estate sector of our economy going. There's a role of the Registry of Deeds here. And so we've been open. There's been some adjustments, and we're finding, I think, more and more people are seeing the importance of the registry. And I think for a couple of reasons. When they're trying to refinance because the interest rates are low, or they're buying a house or selling a house, business becomes personal at the registry. And whereas people probably haven't thought of it, we've gotten more questions about, hey, I'm trying to close on a house. Are you going to be open? I'm trying to refinance. And to the public, I should say that. Again, I have to thank the team of employees here. There's been an admirable effort by so many people to stay open. We are open at 649 High Street. The building is closed as far as the members of the public. We have a great research area that people can come into. We have computers that are available for people to use, and we have the customer service center. That unfortunately, has to be closed. So our overriding mission so far has been to limit the spread of coronavirus. The public, we're trying to stay open, but the number one priority, as far as I'm concerned, is the health and safety and welfare of the employees and to those that intersect here at the registry. So we're open. We have a drop-off box. If people need to record documents, they drop it off. Others are mailing it or using Federal Express. And one of the modernization initiatives that we implemented, in fact, in 2017, we were the first registry that recorded electronically documents on both the land court side and the recorded land side. And not all the registries can do that. And that's been so helpful in kind of transitioning to this new way of operating. We see more and more people recording documents electronically. So to those people listening, we have not missed a beat, but that's today. It could change with, the way things are going. Someone could get sick and you have to adjust. But right now, the registry has remained open. It has remained viable. Every document has been recorded. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at the statistics, and I know we're supposed to talk about the month or the quarter, and we will. It was a very busy quarter here in Norfolk County. But this past March, we recorded almost 12,577 documents, and most of them were recorded the last couple of weeks of March, which has been sort of the, COVID time. So we're still operating, and it was, as I said, 12,577 documents were recorded in March. And again, I have to thank the staff here. Everyone's been, good at it's been a good team effort, and we stay open.
The documents that are recorded electronically, Bill, are those kind of legally recognized, or do they have to be filed by paper as well?
No, this all got authorized by the federal government and by the state government as far as a lot of the modernization initiatives. And I know a lot of times we talk about modernization initiatives, and in some ways it was done because the institutional users, the lawyers, the banks, they saw a value to doing closings in their office in Quincy and recording documents electronically. So it's seamless. Those documents are authorized by law. They still have to be done. I mean, these submitters have to certify that, the documents are being signed in front of them and notarized, and all the laws that are in effect have to be followed. But once those documents get transmitted to us, it goes into the system. And we're talking about modernization. I'm always still very proud that we're one of the few registries in Massachusetts that still print books.
Mm-hmm.
So it's seamless. We take that scanned image and put it in a book. So there's no need for people to follow up with paperwork. Once the documents get transmitted and we accept them, it's as if you walked into the registry and recorded. And we can see more and more. The last week in March, it was 70% on the land court, on the registry side, and actually almost 50% on the land court side. So we're seeing more and more people, probably because of necessity, recognizing that they have to record electronically. So there's no need for any follow-up on our end, getting any extra paperwork. Once you send it in, it's as if you walked into the building and recorded it here.
Very good. Yeah, it's kind of ironic. It looks like it was on track to be, a really robust real estate year before this all hit.
And that will remain to be seen, as you said. What does the second quarter and third quarter bring? Why don't we talk about some good news of the first quarter? And the first quarter for everyone out there is from January 1st to March 31st, and it was very busy, not only in the county but in Quincy. For instance, documents that were recorded, total documents were 27,962. That was in 2019 first quarter, and 34,861. That's countywide. That's almost 7,000 document increase, or 25%. And Quincy, as far as documents, kind of mirrored that percentage. Quincy's increase over this quarter from 2019 to 2020. In 2019, there was 2,727 documents recorded in Quincy and from Quincy. And in 2020, 3,468. So that was a 27% increase. And, Quincy seems to have mirrored Norfolk County. For instance, total deeds. We track total deeds. And again, countywide, it went from 3,374 in the first quarter of 2019 to 3,684. That's a 9% increase. And as far as total deeds in Quincy for that same 3-month period, it was a 7% increase. So it was typically January and February might not be as busy, but it was busy. And not just deeds.
Mm-hmm.
I think another component that we have to look at was the mortgages. We know there's low interest rates. I think there was probably purchase and sales in the pipeline. But when we look at total mortgages, again, in Norfolk County, it was 4,532. That was last January, February, March. This January, February, March, it was 7,768. That was almost a 3,200, over 3,200 document increase in mortgages, or 71%. And as far as Quincy, it was 451 January, February, March of 2019. It was 809.
Wow.
The same period, a 79% increase.
That's incredible.
That exceeded expectations. And I always have to say thank you to you and Mark Crosby and all the staff, because we always talk about, you do the homestead public service announcements that go countywide. And as far as statistics on the homestead, citywide, they were up, countywide, they were up 9%.
Mm-hmm.
Again, probably because of the great public service announcement you put together that goes out countywide. But it was up 8% in Quincy for the 3 months. So we were busy as far as recording deeds. We were busy recording mortgages, and a tip of the hat to Quincy Access Television, because that's a great consumer service. Because a homestead, for those out there, it protects your principal residents. And thank you, local legislators. They've made some changes to the homestead, but it's important to record a homestead. There was some filing fees that went up by the state legislature, and that was one of the few that didn't go up. So it's really worth taking, if you own a house, I'd say 9.9 attorneys out of 10 would say, get a homestead recorded. And again, thanks to Quincy Access Television.
Our pleasure. Thank you for partnering with us on that, and we look forward to doing it again in the future real soon. It's probably the mild winter helped a little bit this year as well, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I would say, certainly the mild winter. Clearly, there's demand. So maybe some of the people that wanted to buy a property were trying to get out there in the winter, knowing that there's so few properties. That's what we hear from brokers, that there's so few properties in the inventory. So I think it was a combination of a very robust competition for home sales. And again, the interest rates are really low, and it went down. I would be remiss if I didn't, give some bad news or news to be concerned. I guess bad news is relative. I mean, the bad news is if someone has COVID. So we wish everyone good health and safety up there.
Right.
But economically, one thing we did notice were foreclosure deeds, and we always give that statistic. Foreclosure deeds, we track it. The only thing the registry has to do is, in the process, is we take the foreclosure deed when it's recorded. And the foreclosure deeds went up countywide from 36 to 43. That's a 19% increase. The good news is foreclosure deeds in Quincy, there was only one the whole quarter. So
wow.
that's good. But there's something the other thing that we do with foreclosures here is we have a partnership with Quincy Community Action Program with Neighbor Works Housing Solutions. And if you go to our website, there's links to those great nonprofit organizations that give people help if they're struggling with foreclosure. So, and the reason why I think that's timely is when we look at notices to foreclose, that's the only other time the registry is involved. When a lender decides to institute a lawsuit to foreclose, they're required to by the court to record a notice to foreclose at the registry. And countywide, there was 154 the last 3 months of 2020, January, February, and March, and there was 94 in 2019. So you can see that's a pretty big increase, 63%. And Quincy went from 12 in 2019 to 21. Again, those numbers might not seem high, but to the people that are struggling with foreclosure, it's the biggest thing they're dealing with. So my advice is you got great community organizations to turn to that give you advice that will help you winnow your way through this process, get some advice, get some help, get some counseling. You got Quincy Community Action Program and Neighbor Works Housing Solutions. It's on our website at www.norfolkdeeds.org. And we also have a link to the Attorney General's office if you need some help. But I thought it would be remiss not to point out those troubling statistics that, and this was really prior to the COVID-19 hitting. So
right. Yep.
The COVID-19 could really, I know they're putting moratoriums and things like that, but there's going to be a ripple effect to this COVID-19. And I think we can see that at the registry. The Registry of Deeds intersects with lawyers and title examiners and engineers. There are builders. There's all kinds of groups that kind of come to the registry with a deal. And if this all grinds to a halt, at least in the real estate market, there's going to be a ripple effect.
Yep.
And I think you're going to see it with people losing their job
yep.
and things like that. There's going to be a ripple effect economically. There's going to be a ripple effect in a negative way as far as increases in foreclosures. So it's something to watch. And again, if people find themselves in that situation, make sure you reach out and get the help you need.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's good advice to be proactive in that case. Reach out to your lenders, reach out to these social service organizations, utilize the federal government stimulus money that'll be coming, all the resources that are available to you. Don't put your head in the sand if you're in trouble. Reach out.
No, you have to be proactive, and again, we try to be proactive here at the registry. Not in again, our website is open, and I'm looking back at all the modernization initiatives we talk about on Quincy Access Television, and good thing we have it. Like we go back to 1793, that you can do research back to year one. The registry was founded in 1793 when the county of Norfolk was founded. Well, in Norfolk County, you're not faced with the situation that all the information isn't in the Internet Land Record Research Library. We have it all there. So people can, because of these modernization initiatives, do research from their home and be comfortable with it, because it's all there.
Right.
I think of the disaster recovery office. We always mention that, we are always doing business continuity planning, and we're actually using our disaster recovery office now. And, and people say, well, that's great. You actually have an office and you're using it. And, but Joe, I thought the office would be used for a fire, or, we're near the water here, the Charles River, the flood.
Right.
Never in my wildest dreams thought it would be used because there's a pandemic going on, a coronavirus. So we live in times, and hopefully we all get through it together. And the big thing is we all stay healthy, and that's that's the number one thing.
That is absolutely true. So, are there any things at the registry, Bill, that can't be done right now, other than going into the building?
Right now, I mean, the website provides information.
Okay.
There are certainly, we have a very robust schedule as far as going to town halls.
Right. Yep.
That's done. We had tentatively set up a computer seminar in April, and that has been by the boards. Yep. But as far as our core responsibility of recording the documents, it's can be done, and it is being done. As I said, we've had some people. We have a drop-off box outside the building, have dropped documents there. We've had mail come in. We've recorded that way, and we still record it electronically. And it's important because, for instance, last calendar year, that's January to December 31st, we collected over $56 million in revenues here at the registry. Now, most of that gets turned over to the state, but when you think about it, what is that money used for? Well, it's used for public safety. Yep. It's used for schools. It's used for school building assistance. It's used for social programs. The Community Preservation Act is surcharge. We collect funds there. So there's all this, all this gets done at the Registry of Deeds, and we're still doing it. So we recognize, I don't view us, I never viewed us as essential as, say, my relatives who are police officers and fire department. I got a sister that's a nurse at Mass General. Right. Those are the real kind of essential services. But, the governor put that in the order, and I could see why. People are trying to keep some semblance of the economy going. So we do the best we can, but I would, when I say we're essential services earlier, I don't put that in the same category as the people that are doing things for people. And
but I mean, as you always say, your most valuable asset is your home, and I think it's a bit of a comfort to know that your home, at least legally, you can show is yours through the Registry of Deeds. So I think that provides a service for sure.
Sure, and hopefully we get to a point in due time where it's somewhat back to normal. But right. We're still here and recording homesteads that people want to protect their homes. I recognize interest rates are low. People are worried if the interest rates go up. That's why they want to lock in and get the deal done. And as long as we can, we're going to do it. And as I say, there's no playbook. There hasn't been any playbook dealing with this. We had some plans, and right now everything is going well. But we've also had plans like, if a COVID-19 situation shows up, how are we going to approach it and things like that. So we're operational, and we that's our plans, but we recognize we do have some backup plans if it gets worse than what we have now. But we'll see over the next surge. We'll see how this goes.
Have you seen any scams related to COVID-19 when it comes to the registry, or just scams in general that you wanted to let folks know about?
I had heard there was, not at the registry. I had heard there was some the IT department is always making us aware that there's these emails and things like that. One of them was COVID-19. I haven't seen any of that relative to we have the usual deed scams here where they, and I always tell people we still, you can sign up online for our consumer notification service, which gives you a notice anytime your name comes up. I sign up and again, sometimes I see documents for William J. O'Donnell or William T. O'Donnell. I'm William P. O'Donnell. And it gives me a comfort level to know, okay, that doesn't have anything to do with me. and there might be a time under the Consumer Notification Service when I get that email notification that I realize, wait a minute, that's a deed to my house, or wait, that's a mortgage on my property. I never signed that. So you can still sign up for the Consumer Notification Service. I mean, those scams are always going on. As far as the COVID-19 ones, I haven't seen it pointedly at the registry, but I've heard about it because, and again, it's probably the same principles that our IT department tries to, point out around here. We should do at home is watch what we click and watch what you get, and watch for the things that say give us your social security numbers. And so you just got to be ever vigilant because I've heard anecdotally there are some scams going around.
Okay, how are you coping personally with your family and then your community in Norwood?
Well, Norwood, isn't it ironic? Norwood was sort of the epicenter with different things going on. I guess maybe Norwood was just ahead of it more so because to me, I tell people, this is like the luck of the draw. Like you could do everything right, and we're trying to do social distancing here. We moved computers around so people are spread out and went to shifts. And so personally, knock on wood, things are good. But as I tell people here, I go, that could change, and it's through no fault of anyone's. You could go to the supermarket because you need food and cross paths or something. So far, knock on wood, everything's good, and people are healthy. People are working. Some of my kids are working remotely. Other people have to go to work. But that's at least they're working, and more importantly, they're healthy so far. Sure. So we'll see how that goes. But it's certainly concerning, and look at us. I mean, I consider myself older, and I've never seen anything like it. I guess for younger people, it's kind of unnerving for them too. No one has seen anything like it, and sometimes I think when they look for our older people, and we're saying, Jesus, I've never seen anything like it. It's right. It's probably not comforting, but we're trying to comfort each other and be positive. And my daughter asked me, "What's that saying you use with sports and all that?" And I go, "Well, there's going to be a cloud and a storm before the rainbow. So sometimes, hopefully, we're in the cloud and the storm right now, but hopefully we'll get to that rainbow."
Absolutely. The website is norfolkdeeds.org, and is your customer service number available, Bill?
Yes, it's 781-461-6101. We have people manning it, and again, we're doing the best we can. We're not having people come into the building, but we're trying to answer their questions and help them out. So feel free, and my email is registerodonnell@norfolkdeeds.org, and feel free to get in contact with us, and we'll try to help in any way we can, recognizing it's challenging times. But and again, I got to thank the residents in Norfolk County and the people that use the registry. They've been understanding and patient, and recognizing that we're facing some challenges here, but right now we're all open and everything's going good. And I appreciate the people that intersect here at the registry have been very understanding of what we're trying to do, and keep people healthy, yet also stay open and viable for the real estate economy.
Yeah, well, really appreciate the opportunity to talk to you like this. Hopefully we can do it in person again real soon.
I miss going to Quincy. It's great, but we'll get to Quincy. And again, thanks to you, Joe. Again, thanks to everyone at Quincy Access Television. Even in limited times, Quincy Access rises to the level and gives so much great information to the city of Quincy. They're so lucky to have your organization there doing this, and especially in such a challenging time like this coronavirus.
Oh, thanks for those kind words. Appreciate it, Bill. And to you, your family and staff, be well and happy Easter.
Yes, to everyone. And again, that's right. Be well and be safe. Thanks, Joe.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.